Hey everybody, my name is Sharon Quinn and I'm also known as the original runway diva, and you are watching Model Behavior. Class is officially in session. Today my guest is plus-size actress, model, photographer, and consultant, Nikki Gomez. Welcome, Nikki, to Model Behavior.
Thank you, Sharon.
Now, your bio.
Yes.
Didn't have a lot on it.
Yes.
So I'm going to have to pick your brains live on camera. But
I will spew everything out.
You told me a lot of stuff before we started rolling, and you used to be a model booker as well.
Yeah, up until this January that just passed. For a year and a half, I was the head booker of Bicoastal Models.
And I'm going to ask you what that experience was like, because I did that as well, working for IPM. And I didn't last 6 months.
Okay.
I did not like that aspect of the business.
Yeah. For me, that was the final step, just because after 10 years in the industry, I've done all the other stuff. Been on the client side, I've been on the model side, I've been on the fit side, photography side, wholesale side. So I've done all that, and it was just kind of the last piece of the puzzle that I really wanted to learn and see if that's going to be the final part of this whole journey for me. And I loved it at first. And I love the people I work for, and I love the agency. We still have a good relationship, but it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work, and it's not the part that I thought it was. It was more scheduling and phone calls and emails.
It looks really glamorous,
it does,
but it's not. It's really,
it's a desk job.
It's grunt work.
It's a grunt work. It's a desk job. It was a 9-hour-a-day desk job for me, and sometimes weekends, and sometimes no lunchtime, sometimes overtime. It just was a lot. And
now, was this a bigger agency?
It's a smaller family-owned run agency, but they have a lot of models and a lot of divisions. When I signed on, my purpose was to create the plus-size print division, which I did. So I created their whole print division for plus size. I got in new models, but I also had to manage the 300 or so other models that are on the board in other divisions, as well as talk to clients and handle scheduling and everything.
Well, for me, the thing that turned me off about it, I love, working with the girls and stuff, the cold calling.
Yeah.
I didn't like that. I mean, I'm sure I could sell if I wanted to, but that's not anything
everybody.
You tell me, okay, I'm not interested. Okay, thank you.
Right.
I'm not going to push. And you need to push in this business. Now, tell me some of your experiences as a booker, as far as models go, because I know I saw a lot of things that I did not like, and I learned a lot about models.
So you mean from the model's perspective of what they did or didn't do?
Yeah, well, I found that, they don't do what they're supposed to do.
Oftentimes. I mean, I think for me, the more frustrating part was if I'm spending 2 hours talking to a client trying to sell the model tells me they're available, and then next thing you know, I set up a go saying this, I can't make it. Well, the client really wants to see you. Can you give me alternative times you can make it, alternative days? Let me talk to them. If they really want to see you, we can make it work. Things like that are a little unprofessional, in my opinion.
Oh, no, it's not just your opinion.
If not, book out, and then we won't go through all this, and I'll try to get you, something else.
Well, why are you in the business if you don't want to see clients?
Yes.
My big thing was the lack of reinvesting in your career.
Yes.
So you get a $2,000, $3,000 gig, and then you get your little check, and I don't see you again for a month or two because you're on vacation.
Yeah.
But you need to test again. You need to, work on your comp cards, and they don't want to do that.
No, and that's something that, it became apparent to me that you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. You can be the most beautiful girl and have everything stats-wise in order, but if you're not prepared to do your part, the agency can't do anything else for you. And so that's a big lesson I try to teach girls, even when I'm shooting. They'll say, oh, what agency should I be with, or what should I do? And my agent's not doing this for me. And I'm like, well, listen, it's a 50-50 relationship. If you're not going in there and saying, I'm testing to have my book on point, I'm losing whatever weight or toning up or whatever the case is that you need to do, because that's what clients are asking for. My hair is not good, my skin's not. If you're not doing all those things that you need to do so that agent can send out your pictures and bam, you're getting requests.
And let me just say, your agent, once you get an agent, the work begins.
Right.
Your agent is not getting you work, and that's a big misconception.
Huge.
Well, this agent is not getting me any good gigs. No. You're not getting you any gigs. All your agent does is get you in the door.
Yeah.
And maybe get you in a couple doors that you couldn't get in on your own.
Exactly.
Once you get in, you have to sell yourself. And you do that through your pictures and your personality, and they don't get that.
Yeah, well, I always say modeling, to book a job, it's 80% looks and 20% personality. Nobody wants to be with someone on set for 8 hours if they come and they're pretty and then they're dead, like nothing happens. What's the point of, like, do you want to work with someone that way? I know, I don't want to be bored out of my mind. So that's part of it. You know, I tell a girl, come in, shine, be yourself, say hi, like ask them how they're doing. Like, it's okay. Don't walk in my book, you know, and walk out. You're not going to get the gig. You're not going to get the gig
because they think that that's what they're going to get in front of the camera.
Right.
It's all about selling yourself. And this is how this show came about, because I see so many people who just they don't get it.
Yeah.
Now, having been a booker, who's been a model.
Yes.
Tell me, let's talk about your modeling career and why you're not doing it anymore.
Okay. Well, do you want to know, like, how it started?
Yes.
Or,
how did you start?
I started because people kept telling me on the street that I should try. It was really weird, random, like, Twilight Zone things. Like, so women would be like, oh, you look really beautiful, you should be a model. And then men would be like, you look really, you should be a model. I'm like, wait, I was a size 18, you know, not the tallest girl in the world. So I was like, what are they talking about? And then I started looking into it, entered, like, mode model search.
Oh, wow.
Twice. I didn't. I know, I took it back. Saw, you know, beautiful pictures of those models, and those inspired me, but I didn't get chosen or even a finalist for that. And then I lost some weight and took some snapshots and put them on a website called plusmodels.com. Taking it back. and there was a thread with my pictures, and people started commenting so positively. And another model told me, well, you have to go see Fallon. And she said, she's opening her own agency. It's exclusively plus size. You need to go and meet with her. And I was like, okay, you know. So I was working finance at the time, left work, went over to the office, walked in, and I love to do my impression of her because it's all to love. But she said to me straight up, she was like, you are the first model-looking girl who walked in here. You are signed. And I was just like, wait, what? And it began. And from there, I got put on hold for just my size. And I was one of 3 girls on hold, first casting. And then I went to my first runway casting for Saks Fifth Avenue, and I got it. And I didn't even know I was walking right or wrong. I just walked. And just from there, it just picked up Figure Magazine and then Latina Magazine, and it just snowballed.
And it's largely, I mean, you have a huge personality, but you're photogenic. And it is important to be photogenic.
Very important.
Oh, my God. And now, what made you stop doing it?
You know, life just kind of took me in different directions. From the modeling, I met a client that was starting her own wholesale fashion company called Dulce. And she used to rep Svoboda, Trent Acosta, you know, all these names, Anna Scholes, everybody. And so she asked me to come and join her. So she matched my salary in finance, and I was like, okay, I can do that. And she also was a good friend. So I left to do that. And from there, I took photos of Fluvia one day, and she took photos of me. We were good friends, so we took photos of each other. And I liked the photos I took of her more than the ones I was in. So I was like, oh, this is fun. And she goes, Nikki, you have the eye. And so I was like, all right, maybe I should look into photography. And I was around 2007, so I started teaching myself. And
you taught yourself photography?
Yeah.
Okay.
And Photoshop. Yeah.
Wow.
So I practiced on, like, cousins and friends, and read books and looked up YouTube videos and got the equipment, invested in it, and then it just took off from there. My first client was Wilhelmina Models, and they started sending me girls every week.
Wow.
Yeah, I was very lucky that worked out.
Huge.
Yeah.
So what's your business like now? Is it growing exponentially?
Yeah,
it has to be with the reality TV piece, which I'm going to come back to in a minute. But
right now, it's probably the busiest it's ever been since I started, because I had to stop here and there to make a living. You know how hard New York is. You got to work, you got to do other things, and chase your dreams.
Yes, ma'am.
So being a native New Yorker, it was in my blood. So I was like, okay, I work finance, and then I'll shoot on the weekends, and I'll do all that. So it just kind of slowed down here and there, and then I got the TV show, and that became a priority.
Now, how did that happen?
That was my co-star, Tiffany Bank. She went to an audition and they said, okay, we love you, but we also want more people to be part of this cast. Do you know anyone? And she recommended me. And so I went to the casting office and much like this, I stood behind a, near a blue screen and they filmed me and they just asked me questions about my life. And at the time I was newly single for the first time in my life, separated. Because I was married and divorced. And so
I didn't know that.
Yeah, there's lots of good little nuggets. Okay, so I was separated, and they asked me some really personal questions, and I kind of answered it very, direct, because I wasn't afraid. I'm never afraid to say what's on my mind. I'm very open. And so I said, oh, yeah, no, I can date around like a man. And I was just, very direct, and I guess they liked it, and then I got cast.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's, wow. Now, how long did she's talking about the reality show Big Sexy,
yes,
right?
TLC's Big Sexy.
TLC. How long did it run? 1 season, 2 seasons?
It was originally going to be 6 episodes, 6 half-hour episodes, and then it ended up being 3 one-hour episodes. So it wasn't even a full season. They made it a docuseries. I think they were testing out the market just to see.
Okay.
But yeah, 3 episodes.
And they didn't pick it up?
No.
What was the reasoning behind? Did they give you a reason, or they just, yeah, that's life on reality TV. One day you're on, and the next day you're not.
They did re-air it on Discovery Health, so that was the second run of that. But I know it ran internationally.
Okay.
So I started getting Middle Eastern fans and Indian fans, and
that's awesome.
Yeah,
okay.
it was really cool.
So it was a good experience for you. Did you have any
negative
not
stuff?
so good?
I think as I'm getting older, I'm realizing my limitations. I am very sensitive to people and energy, and I know it sounds really hokey pokey, but I am, and so I think it exhausted me sometimes more than I would have normally been. So even to tape, sometimes I had to drink Red Bull, and because I was also working a job and filming.
Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah, so you want to keep your energy up on camera, and that was always my thing. So I would drink Red Bull and go in and film, and then go out and just be exhausted.
Now, you senior moments. I can't remember what I was gonna ask you. Reality TV.
Yes. And photography, reality TV.
No, I was gonna ask you something specific and I've forgotten. All right, let's talk
We'll
about
come back.
your film debut.
Yes. Yes.
Motel Hell.
Yeah, they actually renamed it Motel 666 to not confuse people about another movie that was called Motel Hell from back in the day. Yeah, it was someone who watched the show. He's a writer, director, producer, and he reached out to me on Facebook. And at first I was like, who is this creeper? What does he really want? What is it? You don't know. Once you're on TV, you get all kinds of emails.
That's what I wanted to ask you. Okay,
yes.
Okay. All right. That's what I want to ask you. I'm going to come back to this film in a moment.
Okay.
Now, when you're on TV, your whole world changes once the show airs.
Yeah.
People are all up in your face. How was that for you?
Surreal. It felt like a weird dream for me, especially walking down the street. We did Fashion Night Out. We did Fashion Night Out. We were in Lane Bryant when the show was on air. And we went from Brooklyn Lane Bryant to Fifth Avenue. Not assuming anything, because we figure our fans were here. They're not going to recognize us. Fifth Avenue, everywhere we went, we were stopped by women of all shapes and sizes, all ages, all colors. It was mind-boggling. And it was so humbling, but also awkward, because you don't know what to say. People think they know you because they saw you.
Yeah,
so they come up and like, oh, Sharon! And you're like, hi, who are you?
I used to have people tackle me on subway benches and want to hug, and I'm just like, if you don't get off of me.
Right? You're like, I don't know you.
But
do you want to autograph a selfie?
But it feels good.
It feels very good. It was very nice. It was very, I guess, reaffirming to who I am as a person. It felt good for me, too.
Yeah, TV, it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Because once that show airs,
yeah,
everybody knows who you are. You think they don't. You say, only my friends and my family watch that.
You can't just slide away and not be seen. People know who you are. To this day, some people still remember, and they still reach out or look at me and go, oh, that's Nikki. And I'm like, oh, my God.
Yeah, I still get people who stop me for Monique's Fat Chance, and that was 2005.
It doesn't feel like that long ago, though.
Yeah, it was. A lot of things have changed. But let's go back to the movie.
Yes. So he saw me on it, reached out to me on Facebook. I had to do extensive research to make sure he was legit.
Legitimate, yeah.
I did find that he had financed and produced several movies that actually got critical acclaim. So I was like, okay, he's legit. And he's like, I'm doing a movie. What kind of movie would you want to be in? That's what he said to me. He goes, I love you from the show. What kind of movie would you want to be in? And I'm like, I love horror films. Like, kill me, make me the killer. I don't care. Like, I do. I'm crazy.
Really?
I'm geeky like that.
Oh.
Yeah. I love horror films and all that stuff. So he was like, all right, I'll get back to you when I have a script. So months go by, and I'm like, all right, maybe this guy's not going to do anything. Reaches out to me, I have a script, I'm flying you to Chicago, I'll put you up in a hotel, we'll film your scenes, you're going to be in this movie, Motel 666, your character's a receptionist. No script, it's a concept, he has the idea, but I had to improvise my lines on set.
Oh.
Yeah, which was actually really cool for me, because I'm like, okay, I don't have acting training per se, just a little drama in high school, but, you know, improvising makes me be more of myself.
Did you have to do many like retakes? Because
no, 2 takes.
Because you're not gonna say the same thing.
Yeah, 2 takes, and I just like he liked what I said, so I would just like embellish on it or just not embellish on it, depending on what the vibe was.
And did most of your scenes make it into the actual film?
They did. He said his reason for even casting me was like, he was like, I want you to be the bright spot in the movie, like, you know, you're just smiley and all that, and I was like, okay. So it stayed in, and it was the lighter part of the film.
Okay, I'm gonna talk directly to the camera right now. Yeah, Motel 666. Yeah, can we? Do you have to buy it or can we see? Is it on?
It's running through film festivals, so I don't even have a copy yet. I saw it in Chicago at a premiere, but we're working on getting it out for distribution. I think it's like going through film festivals right now.
Oh, so this is okay. I'm thinking
the process in movie stuff, it just takes a while. Although it happened, it's not like distributed yet.
Do you think you want to do more of that sort of thing?
I am. He booked
Are you taking
me.
Acting?
He booked me for another movie. We're shooting in fall.
Oh, that is amazing.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm hoping it's more character development, like it's a bigger role, because I'm ready to take on something. Yeah, I'm ready to take on something a little meatier. It's called Love Boricua Style, and it's going to be about Puerto Rican ensemble comedy cast, basically about how we relate to each other. I'm not really sure the exact details, but it's a comedy.
Bald-headed women who look black but are actually of Latina heritage. Yeah, he should give me a call.
Yeah, what's your heritage?
Mexican.
Oh,
yeah. Aida Fernandez.
Oh,
that's my
so
mom and my
exciting.
grandma.
Oh my goodness. Okay, I didn't know.
No one knows until I tell them I can't speak a lick of Spanish, child.
Well, I only speak like this.
Yeah, I speak less than that.
I understand a lot though.
Yeah, I know the curse words. That's the first. You know, that's the first thing you learn. Now, tell me about. You're a consultant now.
I do some consulting on the side. I consulted most recently with a client that's a straight size model. She's mostly done a lot of fit. She has the body and look. She has the body of a high fashion young girl, but she's trying to do more acting. And so I had to advise her because all the castings she was going on were for younger, size 2, 5'10", 5 whatever. And I told her, well, she's already in her early 30s. I said, time to cut your hair and start marketing yourself and going for castings 35 to 45. While you don't look 45, Hollywood will cast you that age because you're a good-looking, older, but not too old woman.
That's interesting.
So it works. So you just have to figure out what your niche is. And so when I helped her with that, she did exactly what I said. She cut her hair, took new pictures, sent them out, went to her audition, booked it.
Okay. So you consult on all things, not just, you're like a lifestyle consultant.
I mean, it's related to the industry just because now I've kind of seen how everything works, which I also apply to my photography. So like I kind of throw it all in there, the knowledge that I got over the years, and help people the best I can. Okay,
that's a good segue. Let's get back to the photography. Yeah. Now, and I see you smiling, so that must really, really make you happy to do that.
Yeah.
Now, what sort of people have you shot? Have you shot major people besides Miss Fluvia, who it's almost impossible to take a bad picture of her?
No, she's gorgeous. Well, she was lucky. She was my first like little muse. I didn't, know much yet, and I had the luxury of shooting her. But no, I've shot. I just came from LA, and I shot Lorna Litz.
I love her.
She's amazing.
I love her.
That's my girl. That's my girl. To my fellow tourists. So I shot her in LA, and we have a special project coming out with those photos, so I can't really discuss exactly what it is. That was like the 3rd time I shot her, 4th time. I've also shot Denise Bidot.
I like Denise too, although I don't think she likes me very much.
Oh, I don't know. I can't speak
like
on
her.
that.
I'm just putting it out there because maybe you'll see this. It's all love, girl. Business is business. No worries.
Her face is just amazing
Yeah.
to photograph. Every angle is just interesting. I've shot so many people. I shot Wineka years ago. I shot Mia Amber.
Yeah.
Just so many people over the years. I can't even think of everyone. But
Now, what do you do when you have to literally, because I'm talking about myself, when you got to coax and pull it out? Because I got to be one of the few models in history who don't like taking pictures. I just
Really?
take good pictures,
so
but I'm
beautiful.
not comfortable in front of a camera for whatever reason. I get in and I just freeze, right?
think-
Luke Jones? Yeah.
I think for me, what it is because I am non-threatening on set. I'm very geeky, and I'm like, I'll be the one to be like, be sexy, and then they're like, like, what is she talking about? Because I just do my thing, and it's usually just me and the model, or me and a makeup artist or stylist and the model. I have very small sets. I don't have big crew. I want them to feel as comfortable as possible because my goal is to get a really intimate vibe from the photo.
Okay. And how do you put someone at ease? What would you have?
We just talk. We just talk. I like talking to people. So I just talk to them and get a vibe for who they are and what they like. Some people come in very nervous. Then once the first look is done, they're like, oh, that was easy. That looks good. Okay. And then they relax.
Okay. Now, do you, is posing a big part of it, or you just kind of want them to be natural?
It used to be a big part of it. I'm finding just as far as what I'm seeing in the industry as a trend, moving through the shots is better now. It's more preferred from clients. It seems to be more the standard of like high fashion.
What do you mean moving through the shots? What does it
Less
mean?
this
Less
and more
actual posing.
like, just going through and just posing and just like going through the motion and capturing the image. When it's static poses, it looks very contrived.
Yeah, yeah.
So, yeah.
Is that something that can be taught? Moving?
I teach them as we do it.
Okay.
Yeah, my goal is always to, and especially if I'm a new model, I try to teach them as much as I can through the shoot and make them feel comfortable. I'm not a quiet photographer. I do give tips and I do help as we're shooting, just so we get what we need and so that they're happy with their shots as well.
So have you ever had
people who don't move?
Or just like a bad shoot?
Yeah.
I'll tell you why I asked it, because when I first signed with Wilhelmina, this is how I learned the chemistry between the model and the photographer is really important. And if it's not there, maybe that's a photo shoot you should skip.
Yep.
Because I shot with a photographer who, one, probably didn't have a lot of experience shooting plus-size models.
Can we mention just for a second how important that is? Because people don't realize that's important.
It's extremely. You can look right at camera one. And,
this one camera one? Okay, it's extremely important for a photographer to have experience shooting a plus-size body. Angles are very important when shooting plus. Any girl who's a size 0, 2, or 4 can be shot at any angle and it will look good. Not the same for plus.
And there you have it. Yeah, he didn't know he didn't know my angles.
Right.
He didn't particularly like me, and I didn't particularly like him.
Oh.
And it was a nightmare. Plus, I tried to style myself. I talked about this in Steffi Allen's episode.
I saw that one.
Yeah, that's a stupid thing to do. And I didn't get one picture. I still have the, what do you call it? The sheet.
The contact sheet?
I still have the contact sheet from that. It was horrible.
Yeah, I had those too as a model. I remember those experiences. It's not good. As a photographer, I think I have more trouble with models that are not prepared at all.
Now, how does one, when you say prepared, what do you mean?
This is something I actually talked about with Lorna Litz as well. Lorna Litz is always on, meaning she has research photos for inspiration. She sends them to me. She tells me the mood board, what she likes. I consult. We go through it, and it's a collaborative process. When I shoot Lorna, she's told me already. She's confirmed. She studies and practices in front of the mirror the night before. She's always on point. So to get a bad shot of her is very difficult. There are models that I shoot that I tell them ahead of time, here's what you need, here's what you bring, here's what your makeup should look like. Please practice before, practice in front of a mirror, very important. People feel like dorky doing it, but it's very important.
That I know.
It's weird. It's a weird feeling to be like in front of the mirror, like looking at your angles, but it looks right in photos and it's muscle memory. You'll remember what looked good and you'll do it. So I've had instances where either A, they don't listen to the details I've sent them as to what to bring. So maybe they have 1 or 2 things and I have to try to make it work for 3 looks. Or B, they never practice at all and there's no movement at all, which is also difficult.
Wow.
Or my worst situation, the one I hate the most, is when there's like chaotic movement and I can't even get them to like hone in. Like hone in a little bit, focus, listen to me because I know what the shot looks like, or I put them in the shot, I turn around, it's a whole different thing going on. So that's a little difficult for me.
I would pay good money to see that.
Yeah, it happens and it's very frustrating. But you do what you can and you say, you know what they get is what they get. I tried my best. Hopefully there's usable shots in here and we move on.
Who's your favorite model to shoot? Besides Lorna Liz, who we know is on point.
There's so many. I love Kirby Chernochek. She's a blonde.
Say that name again?
Kirby Chernochek.
She's a plus size model?
Yeah, she's a size 14, 5'10", blonde, shaved side.
Really? Who's she
Gorgeous.
working with?
She's currently freelancing with Bicoastal.
Okay.
She actually went out to LA when I went to LA and met with clients and agencies and stuff. But she's so fun because she can be girly and she can also be edgy. So like just flip the hair over, the edge is gone, it's girly. Put it back, you got edge.
Oh, wow. That is interesting.
Yeah, she's
okay,
great.
I have to look her up.
Very versatile.
So now before we run out of time.
Yes.
I know you have a podcast because I looked at your website.
I do, yes. It's the Nikki Gomez Show, and it's basically an inspirational, motivational podcast. I do speak to people in the industry. So my whole thing is to give everybody a voice, not just a face. And I want them to talk about whatever they've gone through and how they got through it to help others get inspired. I'm getting distracted by music.
that means we're just about out of time. I want you to look at camera 1, tell them about your website.
My website is thenikkigomez.com. You can also find me on Twitter at thenikkigomez, as well as Instagram.
All right. Thank you guys for watching Model Behavior. And as always, I want to leave you with a few thoughts before I go. Number 1, remember that you can't change the game without first learning the game. And 2, always surround yourself with positive people and positive things. And number 3, do what you love and love what you do. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys next Saturday at 11:30. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter and Instagram, like us on Facebook and all that other stuff. And I'll see you guys next week. Bye.
See you guys.